Hey, what's going on, everybody? Justin here, and for this Tag Tuesday, I wanted to do kind of a more chatty, philosophical, kind of discussing the bigger questions of BookTube, I guess, if that makes any sense with this Tag Tuesday. And it is the Behind the BookTube Tag. This was created by Shelley Swearingen quite a while ago, and it's been sort of floating around in the BookTube ether for a while. I wasn't tagged by anyone in particular, but I did see Ania over at Well Traveled Books. Her version of this tag. I really enjoy her channel. I'll leave a link to that video down below. And it got me just thinking about the questions a little bit more. And I started looking up a few other people's versions of this tag and whatnot. But yeah, it's definitely dealing with sort of the bigger questions. And let's just go ahead and get started. So question number one is, what surprised you the most about BookTube in a good way and also in a bad way? So I think that, the obvious answer with the good way is you make friends, you meet people, you talk with people, and you find out cool books, you find out cool people, that sort of thing. And this year, since my third return to BookTube, I've been trying to do a lot better with that, engaging with the community a lot more, and joining a couple different Discords and stuff on different book topics or reading events and stuff like that. I've been having a lot of fun with. It's just cool, getting to know people a little bit more. Obviously we can always just comment on each other's videos, stuff like that. But when you get into kind of just more fun stuff, people's preferences in music and talking about trips and all kinds of just jokes and memes and everything, it just brings out we're real people too that have stuff going on, and we find different things funny and things like that. I don't know, I've just been really enjoying that. And that wasn't really a primary thing, I guess, going into. I didn't realize the actual community aspect of YouTube and BookTube in particular. However, what surprised me in a bad way, the problem here is when I found out about BookTube, it was literally within a month. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks I started doing videos. I really wasn't I didn't do a lot of research or looking into it and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely the overconsumption of books. Granted, if you're gonna be addicted to something, or you're gonna spend spend all your money on something, I guess you could go to a lot worse places than books and stuff. But yeah, just sometimes just the whole more mentality, and I was guilty of it too, especially the first half a year I think I started. Granted, I had a library room, and I had just built shelves. I had built these ones too, but they were even bigger. I think it was maybe about 50% larger than this one. So I had 30 empty shelves. I was I can just do whatever I want, and I think one of my first book hauls was 50 books or whatever. It was just, looking back on it, I'm wow, that is so cringeworthy, Justin. But not only just sort of the overconsumption of buying more, there is sort of this weird, I've noticed with some, it's the whole, the actual page count becomes almost a driving factor, when you watch some people's wrap-ups and stuff. And I feel I read a lot, but on Instagram or Bookstagram and on BookTube and stuff, I see people that just blow me so far out of the water, and I'm just thinking to myself, I don't know how that's actually possible to read on average 600, 700, 800 pages a day consistently over the course of a month. I just, the math isn't mathing in my head, and I just don't really understand. The only thing I could think of is you're just listening to audiobooks all 40 hours while you're at work because you have a cool job or something. I don't know, and it almost becomes more just, how many books can I read? Hopefully Soph doesn't knock the tripod down. Yeah. Anyways, enough on that one. I think that was her telling me to stop rambling and ranting on that question. All right, number 2, how do you balance reading in BookTube with the rest of your life? The short answer is I don't at all. Because like I said, I think this is my third. I've had 2 or 3 long hiatuses. 2023, I sporadically put out I think a dozen videos, but overall it was pretty. I think there was a 6-month gap, and then 2 videos or 3 videos, and then another 3 or 4 month gap. Yeah, I don't. So the thing is, I have so many hobbies, right? I just have so many things. Generally, the doing the videos aspect of BookTube is usually kind of towards the bottom of the totem pole there. But it has definitely risen a lot. My actual enjoyment this time around has gone up quite substantially. So it's just, sometimes when I got too much going on between work, or gardening or whatever. I don't know, whatever it is. Like I said, I have a lot of other hobbies as well. You know, something's got to give sometimes, and you know, if I wasn't enjoying BookTube, it was just easy to cut that one out. So yeah, don't ask me how to balance it, because I don't. I don't. Number 3, have you ever thought about starting a Patreon? So I had, like, you know, ever since that kind of blew up, I'm around like what, 2019, 2020, something like that. I never really gave it consideration, because I was like, I gotta be a lot bigger, I guess, before I could even like consider it. But I have, especially like after like thinking about it, when I saw Ania's video and stuff, I just realized there actually are quite a few booktubers and stuff that have it, and they're, you know, they have, you know, half the size of me or whatever it is, and they got like lots of people, and I'm just thinking, what? I don't even know what I would offer people. That's how sad this is. Like, I was thinking to myself, because I'm gonna be like, I can't, I would not be the person that would have like special videos just for people that pay money for that. Like, I don't like the whole idea of a paywall for information or content or whatever. The only thing I could think of is, I think it'd be fun just to have a Discord related to the stuff I like to read about, and like what, you know, presumably if you subscribe to a Patreon or whatever, and we would just like joke and chat about like nature books or history books or something like that, and then I guess maybe like polls on, you know, what should we read, or maybe like a little book club on the Discord, stuff like that. So unless like everyone's like clamoring to like make me do pay money to do a Patreon, I don't know, I just feel like I should be bigger before I really do that. I don't know. Anyway, so that's my vague thoughts on Patreon. Question number 4, have you made any mistakes on BookTube? I mean, I guess it depends on like what a mistake is. Picking like primarily nonfiction is probably my biggest mistake, but that doesn't bother me. I don't really care about that. Oh yes, there was one. Okay, so my very first year doing BookTube, I didn't know that Nonfiction November was like a thing, and my first ever like kind of participation, or I guess not participation, hosting like a reading event. I think there was like 4 or 5 other booktubers, and they asked me to join in on like basically their version of something like a Nonfiction November, and I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Sounds cool. I was just excited to be, you know, I was cool enough to be like asked to join something. And yeah, it just created a big to-do, because, you know, Nonfiction November was already a thing, and I didn't like realize that. I didn't like do a lot of research or anything like that, and that was his own thing. But that was a long time ago, but I think it's kind of funny now. Question number 5, do you have any advice for new booktubers? Not really. Like, you know, besides reading what you actually like to read, that's basically my only advice. Like I said, I don't feel like I'm a good one to give advice. I feel like I do a lot of things the bad way, or the boring way, or the wrong way, stuff like that. Not necessarily mistakes, it's just like, you know, like I said, it's kind of the slower roundabout way of doing things, if that makes sense. So I would just say, you know, obviously reading what you like, but also try to find some events that you enjoy or you like the topic of, and try to, you know, just like make friends and stuff that way. It just makes like the reading more fun, and then like I said, when you can joke about it and talk about it and stuff, just find that's a lot of fun. All right. Number 6, what are your thoughts on the YouTube algorithm? Like I was just saying, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know anything about like that kind of stuff. I suck at like search engine SEO, search engine optimization. Try to be doing it for my Etsy and everything. Oh yeah, shameless self-promotion plug. See, like here's like one I just made today, so hopefully the next couple of days I'll add this to the shop, you know, for those who love Fate. Oh, pretty cool. See, I suck at, it's the same thing. It's all about like marketing and SEO and algorithm stuff, and I don't have any idea what I'm doing with it. I couldn't tell you. For whatever reason, the only thing I can tell you about that I've like understood with my, you know, vague research into like the YouTube analytics is, out of all the stuff I do, people like the medieval and Middle Ages stuff the most, between nature and all the different subsets of history I read. For whatever reason, I think that seems to be the one that is most popular, like right out of the gate, for whatever reason. I don't know. I couldn't tell you why. Obviously, you would have thought like Roman stuff would be, but the Middle Ages generally like blows it out of the water. Yeah. So number 7, and this is broken up into 2 parts. So 7A, how do you decide what videos to make? So I have a notebook where I just write things down. I don't really have any special formula here. Basically, now that I do tags, I try to do like a tag a week. I'm gonna try to start doing like a review a week. Then you got like a bunch of, the staples like wrap-ups, which actually I haven't done yet. I need to. Wrap-ups, book hauls, and TBRs, stuff like that. So between that's like, a good quarter, or excuse me, half to like 3/4 of the videos, and then the other, third or whatever it is, a month is just kind of whatever I sort of like feel like. I have quite a few ideas for other things, but I think that's another question. Oh, I guess 7B, are you overwhelmed with the video ideas? So I wouldn't say overwhelmed is not the right word. There's definitely a few. I just don't know how I have ideas, and I have no idea like how I'd actually do them, because I hate editing. But also there are a few of them, I just don't have the balls to do, basically. For example, there was the booktube at the gym, or books at the gym tag, like years ago. And you would think, oh, I would be all over that tag, and I was not. I did not. Because I had ideas. I'm literally gonna bring like, my duffel bag full of books and stuff while I'm doing my workout at the gym, and just somehow incorporate them into the gym and the workout and whatever, do the video that way. And I just don't have the courage to do that in a public gym. I just can't. I don't know, maybe I should. Maybe I was big. I don't know. I just don't have the security in my mindset to do stuff like that. So I wouldn't say that's overwhelmed. It's more just like I don't have the bravery to do a few of them. I do have, there are like a bunch of different series. I like 4 different major things I want to like try. I guess I feel overwhelmed in the sense I want to like have them be like better than my normal stuff. But like I'm not also willing to like learn video editing and things. Not that I even think you really have to do a lot of editing and whatnot, but I do have, like I said, I have a couple major ideas on like video series that I could just like do for like a long time, kind of like ongoing and stuff, that I hopefully will maybe start roughly soon, but we will see. Like I said, I don't know if overwhelmed's the right word. I just feel like I overthink it, if that makes sense. Alright, number 8. Have you regretted posting a video? I don't think so. There was one I never did post. I think there was another tag called like the drunk book tag or something like that years ago. And me and Tim, or my friend Tim, that he's been on a few of the videos recently, we watched quite a few of the videos, and we were like, wow, a lot of these people actually aren't drinking and stuff, or not drinking enough. And we had the great idea of, after every question, we would like either drink a beer or take a shot or whatever. Of course it's like midnight, and for whatever reason we thought that was the greatest idea ever. And then in the morning, we did it, and we watched the footage, and I was like, no, we can't. This is the cringiest thing I've ever seen. Just like my shelves were literally like starting to like line up with like beer bottles and stuff. It was the worst thing ever. So we did a video, just be like, I think we just talked about how awful an idea that was, and that was in the video. So I didn't regret it because I didn't actually post it, if that makes sense. I feel like we've grown up a little bit since then. Okay, number 9. Okay, and this one is broken into 2 parts. So 9A, are the number of views / subscribers meaningful to you? I think, everyone that actually posts content, if you're really being honest, like, it means at least something. I mean, obviously a lot of us don't, have any real aspirations of making it, we're not gonna be big YouTubers or whatever. But I feel like, if you put time and effort into bothering to make something and post it on the internet, presumably you want people on the internet to like look at it and stuff. So I would say, on my part anyways, it's not so much subscribers, it's more on like the views, I guess, are more important to me. And I don't know if that's because I feel like my ratio of views to subscribers is not great. But then I go, wait a second, Justin, you're literally talking about boring non-fiction books. Like, what do you expect? And I'm not like, like a comedian. I don't have great editing skills, all that kind of stuff. I'm almost like too self-deprecating that I feel like I'm talking about it and stuff. But I would definitely say like I like views more so than the subscribers, because I feel like a lot of times you can have a lot of subscribers and not a lot of views, like in my case, and I feel like that's just kind of weird. But and then on the other hand, like there are people that only might have like 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 subscribers, and then they'll put out a video and get like 500, 600, 700 views, which I think is really awesome. And they're obviously doing something right, so they're probably the ones to like ask for advice and stuff. I don't know, maybe like all my subscribers, not all of them, but a lot of my subscribers I think are just very mercenary. They go in like looking for like, I don't know, whatever, like Middle Ages recommendations, right? And they'll sub for that, and then they'll only watch like the Middle Ages stuff or whatever, which, you know, there's nothing I can do about it, and I'd rather have them do that than nothing at all. So I guess that's kind of like my weird thoughts on that. 9B, are the number of views subscribers a measurement of success? I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I guess in some way I mean, technically, like, they have to be. Like, if you're not, you know, if you get a lot of views and or a lot of subscribers or whatever, if you're not, I guess at least I don't know. I feel like you must be doing something right, you know, for people to bother to like keep clicking on it and clicking like, you know, so to subscribe and the, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, that's your message right there, to also click subscribe, because let's see, I think it was like only 30% of my viewers are actually subscribed to the channel. So that's your, you know, that's your, what am I, call to action is what they call it, I guess, right, in the industry. But yeah, I would definitely say like it's gotta be like some kind of measure of success. But I'm not gonna lie, like I've seen, not necessarily BookTube, but just like on YouTube and stuff, and like Instagram, you know, I see like really mediocre just content with, you know, people, you know, they might have like 25,000 views, or, you know, this like just terrible like photos and stuff getting tons and tons of likes on Instagram and everything. And I'm not sure how, I'm not sure what's going on, but you know, they found some sort of audience that just they resonate with. So I think that's more like what it is if you can like lock in on your niche, or, you know, just what people actually want, even if it's just like a small subset. Yeah, I feel like it can't, like that is like a decent-ish one, because and then, but on the other hand, there are like some huge, like I was saying, like there's some huge ones that just put out like awful stuff. And I don't know. Anyways, I'm kind of rambling. Don't ask me. I don't know what I'm talking about. Number 10, are you disappointed by the growth of your channel? I feel like I don't have a leg to stand on for this question, because when you like, if I look at like the full lifetime chart, it kind of, you know, goes up, and then I'll take a hiatus, and it'll just like go down, then like go up, and I take a hiatus, and this is going down. So I don't, you know, I can't blame anyone but myself. You know, I feel like some people definitely do a lot better than I do, and there are a lot of people that do not as good as I do. So I honestly don't even think it's like necessarily effort or anything. Like sometimes like you'll just hit like, you know, you'll hit the algorithm or whatever, you know, like a lot of people that when they get you know, picked up on the BookTube newbie tag, right, and they get like 30,000 views or whatever on just that video, whereas the 99% of people might only get like 100 or whatever, you know, and they start off right out of the gate with like 3,000 or 4,000 subscribers. You know, they're literally my size or bigger off of like 1 or 2 videos and stuff. So it definitely helps. And, you know, when you're doing the first intro BookTube newbie tag, obviously some people's are like better than others, like, you know, objectively from just like, you know, a viewing experience, but not always so. So like I said, I think some of that is just kind of like luck of the draw and whatnot. But yeah, so like I said, as far as like growth and stuff, I can't really, yeah, obviously I'd like to like grow faster. Like I think I said, once I hit, you know, before I hit 1,000, like it didn't really mean anything, but then when you know, you hit 1,000, you're like, oh wow, this is like a thing. I'm not sure what it is, but it's a thing. So you know, you want it to do well. But like I said, I kind of like stopped putting out content for, you know, 8 months or whatever. So obviously my channel literally just dies, which is probably why the algorithm does not like me. And then question number 11, pretty related. Have you ever thought about quitting BookTube? So like I said, I go on hiatus. I don't quit. You know, I just like don't make content when I don't have the energy or time or whatever it is. And then I just come back like a resurrection plant apparently, or whatever. Like I said, this time around feels really, really good, to be honest. But yeah, like I said, I don't really have any inclination necessarily to quit. Like I don't have any intention of ever like deleting my content or whatever. It's just, yeah, sometimes I feel like, you know, I just like when it's at the bottom of my list of things to do or spend energy on. You know, I only got like 24 hours in a day, whatever. Usually that's pretty like low, though it's gone up quite a bit, I think, this year. All right, number 12 also has 2 parts. 12A, what are the most touching comments you've received? I think over time, the ones that I like the most are definitely like the ones where someone has like read a book and they're like, yeah, I either thought about, you know, you or your channel or whatever, because you know, I think you'll like it, or, you know, I read a book, whatever it is, because you had mentioned it in another video and I really enjoyed it. I feel like that's like my favorite part of BookTube, is like giving out the recommendations, because I feel like I will say a lot of the books I talk about, either very few or like I never ever see other people really talking about a lot of them. So when people are like, you know, I found this book because of you or whatever, and, you know, it was fun, I learned a lot, whatever it is. I think those are like my favorite comments, if that makes sense. And then on the other hand, 12B, what are your most negative comments? So I have, I got a couple here. So but way back in the day when I used to do more fantasy, I wasn't a huge fan of you know, the fantasy Lord and Savior Brandon Sanderson here. I think that's still my most disliked video by far. When I talk, like, I just was like, one of his Way of Kings, I was just like, yeah, it's like the most mediocre book ever, and like I got slammed pretty hard on like a bunch of those. Not necessarily always like negative, but, you know, just kind of like I was being dumb, or I wasn't smart enough to like understand it and everything, which is fun. Like, I just think it's funny because, like I said, it's like the most simple prose like ever. But I was called, let's see, I know I've been called a neo-Nazi on one of my videos, because I had a mohawk during COVID, I think. There wasn't really like a reason, that was basically it. And then on the other hand, I was called like, what was it, a super like liberal like hipster or something, like in a video, because it was talking about like axes. And I'm not gonna lie, the book was fairly hipster-ish, but I actually use axes, like, you know, I have campfires and I live in the middle of the woods and stuff, so, you know, I just thought it'd be kind of like a fun book on axes and everything. But so, you know, I've had the gamut of, like I said, neo-Nazi to, like, you know, hipster and whatever. So, you know, I don't really get bothered by the negative comments, to be honest. I think they're more funny than anything. And then number 13, I do feel, before I go into the last question here, I do feel though with like comments, it was kind of brought up in, I think, one of the Historathon Discord, for people. I guess I always kind of forget, because I like to leave lots of comments on other people's like content and stuff, but like there's a lot of people that maybe not anxiety on like leaving comments and stuff, but, you know, if you don't always have something amazing to say, or like you overthink it or whatever, but you still want to like kind of participate with the algorithm, a lot of people have started to just do like, you know, leaving like an emoji of a different kind and stuff, and I really like that idea. So if you have any ideas of what like my channel should like use for an emoji, for people like that, I think I might start doing that just to make more people comfortable and whatnot. Anyways, number 13, in regards to BookTube, where do you see yourself in 5 years? So hopefully I'm like still doing it. Presumably, I think this is my 5th or 6th year. So like I said, I might be on hiatus in 5 years or something. But I'm hoping I'm gonna be like doing a lot more different kinds of stuff. Like I said, I want to do like a lot of the outdoor field guide kind of stuff, like gardening books, like being more like in depth with maybe how to use like some of those kind of sciencey-ish, nature outdoorsy books. Kind of more like in depth on them, and make that kind of like another branch of stuff. Also, like I said, hopefully I might be doing a bunch of different series, and, you know, maybe if one of them takes off, like, you know, that'll be like kind of what I'm known. I don't know, something like that. Hopefully, like I said, I'll probably still be doing it as long as I don't take any breaks. You know, I feel like it'll be a good thing for me for sure. I'm not gonna tag anyone in particular for this one, just because some of the questions, you know, they're just maybe not personal, but like I said, if you feel like doing it, go ahead and do it. But like I said, I'm not going to just tag anyone, because I do feel like these questions are kind of like I don't want to feel anyone to feel like pressured on like doing them or whatever, just because they are a little bit more personal and whatnot. But hopefully you kind of enjoyed my super long, hopefully, I bet you this was over half an hour. I've been trying not to go over 20 minutes in a lot of my videos, but I feel like this one kind of went on and on and on. But if you made it this far, you might as well like and subscribe to the channel. Like if you listen to me like rant and ramble and reminisce for half an hour. Anyways, whatever you end up reading, this channel really is about reading books and stuff, even though I didn't mention a single specific book. You know, whatever you end up reading, always remember, read victoriously.